doing in America to come to Ghana and play around. We're doing some serious work there in Los Angeles. President came there, saw me and said, come to Ghana and help me change the education system. Let my schools with over 200 workers there to come. And I'm coming here to play around. I'm coming here to mess up the education system. If I can improve American education system, I will help uplift my nation's education system any single day. Just got the good news that gross tertiary enrollment ratio has moved from 18% to 20%. So it's good. We can then deliver on the President's promise that by 2030, our gross tertiary enrollment ratio should be 40. But going forward, it means Director General of GTech, you've got to do your calculation and make sure we are moving up. If Ghana hits 40% gross tertiary enrollment ratio, you're going to see transformation of the country. The foundation will have been solid for the country to take off. Research has been done by the Brookings Institution, and they tell us that it's going to take 120 years for our education system to catch up with that of the Western world. 120 years. But they said something profound, that if you really don't want to use 120 years, then you better develop leapfrogging strategies that will catapult you into prominence and lead you on to catch up with the rest of the world. I've taught in education system in developed nations, and their children are not better than us. Our children can do way better. But it calls for a new way of teaching and learning. In the new Bloom's taxonomy, which is like the blueprint for teaching and learning, the highest level of learning is creation. Those who can use their minds and their hands to create, that is the highest level of learning. The lowest level of learning is comprehension and memorization. But in Ghana, we say they are the smarter because they could memorize the notes of the teacher. So this is the kind of education system we are talking about, that there is a need for transformation. There is a need for us to change some things so that we can get better outcomes. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In the 21st century, we say that we are in the fourth industrial revolution. Things are changing rapidly. In fact, it's documented that 40% of all jobs that we do today around the world will be lost in 10 years' time. The world is changing. So if you begin to have a high school system that focuses on home economics, nothing wrong with it, visual arts, nothing wrong with it, general arts, nothing wrong with it, business, good. But you don't look at computer science and programming. You don't look at biomedical sciences. And you don't even begin to think about engineering in high school. Something is wrong with the disconnect between what you are teaching and what they need to do in industry. So when you hear us talking about STEM, we're talking about STEM in all its forms, whether it's biomedical, engineering, whether it's general engineering. We need to move and move fast. We have junior high schools that are under construction now, and the facilities in there will be just like high schools. Everything that is in a high school will be there. It's a pilot program. And students who go through it will have had 3 quality years of junior high, move on to high school to do another 3 years, giving them 6 years, making them competitive, and making us compete with the rest of the world. We can't talk about robotics and all those big things when the facilities doesn't support that. I don't have a magic wand to just change everything. We don't as a nation, but we're going to start. So you hear of Accra STEM Academy, one of the finest schools that are going to be built in this country. If you can show the picture of it, I will appreciate it. Going to be one of the finest schools in the world. From KG to senior high school. Everything that needs to be there will be there. And it's going to be a model, and we'll move on to other places around the country. Because I believe that if we want to be like Singapore, we need to do what Singaporeans are doing. It cannot be that we'll say that I want to be like the rest of the world, but I'm not going to do what the rest of the world will do, but somehow we'll become like them. Strides are being made here. So beyond free senior high school, the president is focused and targeted on how do I create a robust education system that will stand the test of time. So you say that, what about science lab? Yes, we are building science lab, but we're also using virtual labs. As I speak with you, one of the most progressive agencies at the Ministry of Education, SENDLOS, headed by Mr. Jemfi Jabo, is doing something very innovative. Together with Open University UK, they are developing lab activities, simulated lab activities. All you need is your laptop and a projector, and you do every experiment that you will be able to do in a wet lab. So we are saying that a new school that has started out is not going to say that we cannot do science because we don't have a science lab. All you need is a projector and a laptop and all the lab activities that have been produced by SENDLOS, and you can do science just like anybody. You can dissect the floor virtually. You can do chemistry virtually. And the good news about doing chemistry that way is that if you make a mistake, the chemical doesn't blow up in your face. It will blow up on the computer. The computer will not even blow up. That is called leapfrogging inequality. We have to leapfrog. When we talk about introducing STEM education and constructing high schools focusing on STEM, it's about how do we make sure that our children have the skill set to operate in the 21st century as we talk about the fourth industrial revolution and what they need to do and need to know. So this year I'm excited that we're going to open 6 new schools focusing on STEM. The rest of the STEM schools will be opened in 2023. We have 5 STEM universities approved, medium term for construction. It's exciting that we're going to get 5 new universities built. We're also looking at 12 state-of-the-art technical and vocational training institutes funded for construction to begin. Also, the modernization of NAFTI, a great institution that have not had equipment and facilities to really produce the outcomes that we want in the country. The president says NAFTI should be transformed. We also this year are going to build 10 out of 35 STEM high schools. 35 STEM high schools are approved under this budget for construction. It's like building PRESEC 35 times, replicating PRESEC 35 times across the length and breadth of this nation. 10 of them are going to be done this year. We are going to retool science laboratories in our senior high schools. One of the things that I'm excited about is the construction of 21st century junior high schools in selected urban communities. $100 million allocated for that purpose. Also, the establishment of STEM-based senior high schools, 5 of them, supported by the Badia and Ofid, Saudi Arabia. All those countries have come together and they are building 5 STEM schools just like the one that we are building in Accra. We have also awarded contract for the building of a girls' STEM school at Pong Katamanso. It will be on the same land as the AIMS, African Institute of Mathematical Sciences. I'm excited about the fact that we have another girls' STEM school being opened. Together, we're going to have schools that focus on STEM, dedicated to the education of our girls. And it's for no reason, it's not for no reason that we are doing it. If you look at engineering, currently, only 15% of our engineering students are women. And we don't think that should be allowed to continue. If you look at the laurels that was brought home by Manfred, these girls, how they conquered the world, it tells you that if you give opportunity to women, they will sell. So the government is doing everything possible to ensure that this happens. So let's look at some of the beautiful pictures. Pictures tell a story, more than maybe what I will say. And they say pictures don't lie. Abomosu, this is the campus. This is not the artistic rendering. This is not architectural rendering. This is where we are. They'll be working on the external works so that we can open Abomosu to first-year students in April 4th, when the first-year students return to school, we'll be able to open Abomosu. Beautiful school. You look at this. Makes me want to go back to high school. This is Pasempe. Beautiful campus. They are finishing up the streets. And this is built by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president of the republic. He directed that he wants boarding schools that can bring students from across the country. So when you hear that, what have you built? The response is a lot. And we are going to open for the whole country to see. So, move on. Kwadaso, Creative Arts Senior High School, under construction. Let's move on to the next one. This is Daban, also in Ashanti, and Akrodie in Ahafo. And then Awaso, Western North, right? Progress is being made. We intend to open it. It's moving so fast. Move on. Wedja in Accra here, overlooking the dam. It's beautiful. They will get a breathtaking view. It's a view you will never get at any high school. I'm sure we're going. This is Kwasi, existing senior high school, and so many facilities have been added. Total transformation of Kwasi. Totally transformed. Let's move on. Awaso, or Diaso, it's also beautiful, breathtaking views. Move on. This sounds familiar, Bosumche. This is not as big as Awaso, but it's cute. Very well put together. External features is good. We got a smaller version of the big ones, but we'll live with it and get our girls to enjoy the environment. And this building that you see here is now the new junior high school building. So this is what you're going to see, like just so at Chamba, everywhere that we are building junior high schools. This is what you're going to see. You go inside, there's a large compound in the middle. It has 3 science labs, biology, chemistry, and physics. Not bad for junior high school. And that is what you're going to see. You put one of these buildings in the middle of a town, and you have to close down 12 junior high schools and move all of them there. They walk in that building the first day of school with their tie and skirt and blouse for the girls, and they will say to themselves, we are grateful to the President of the Republic. Next year, by this time, most of these schools will be about to open. And of course, the media will be there. And I have told people that, you see, we need to put people on the bus, whoever we want to go and see. My friends, distinguished friends from the media, let's hop on the bus and go and see, so that you can tell the story. Because it's not about me, it's not about even the president, it's about the transformation of this country. I go to work very early and excited, 6:30, I'm at the office and I'm excited because we are changing this country. Africa will never be found in the space that we find ourselves in, and Ghana will change.